Greetings everyone. Today I want to ask you a question that might hit a little close to home. What do you see when you look in the mirror every day? You might see wrinkles, exhaustion, or a face that you think looks not too bad. But today, following the Master's teachings, we are going to change mirrors. This mirror does not look at your features. It looks at your essence. The Master said that life is a great illusion. Since it is an illusion, each of us is actually painting a picture. Some people paint the illusions of this lifetime into a Buddha. Others, without even realizing it, transform themselves into a maggot wriggling around in a cesspool. Do you think I'm joking? After listening to today's teaching on National Preceptor Zhongfen's instructions for the illusionary dwelling, you might break into a cold sweat. 2. The current situation, busy creating karma, with no time to realize the way. The Master mentioned that back then, National Preceptor Zhongfen lamented, sentient beings are incredibly busy all day long. One moment looking up, the next looking down, either engaging in false speech or sitting there in silence while their minds are still filled with delusional thoughts. This state is called uninterrupted contact with objects. As soon as your eyes open, your heart races after the environment, unwilling to stop for even a second. A phrase we often say is, "Oh, I'm too busy right now. I'll practice when I'm free later." The Master directly punctured this illusion. He said that beings in hell are also busy, but they are busy suffering. We human beings are busy creating karma. Every second you are doing things your own way, fantasizing by day and dreaming by night. This is called willful thinking. Since you find those delusions so interesting, then go ahead and revolve with them in the cycle of rebirth. If you keep maintaining this doing things my own way essence, the distance between you and the Buddha is 100,000 miles. 3. Deep dissection. Are you cultivating your mind, or collecting manure? Here, the Master used an extremely profound metaphor, the public toilet, and the maggot. Everyone, reflect for a moment what our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind doing normally. The thing we are best at is going door to door collecting manure. Who is bad? What wicked thing someone else did? As long as it is something bad, in the eyes of the Buddha Dharma, it is manure. Not only are you listening, you are storing it. You take all these negative and filthy karmic conditions and move them into your brain, storing them in your heart. Doesn't your heart then become a public toilet? And your consciousness just wriggles back and forth within those bad things, isn't that exactly like a maggot in a big cesspool? The scariest part is that we often remain that noble maggot. When we judge others as being bad, our subconscious always feels that we are better than them. The Master said that as long as your thoughts are still wiggling within the bad things of others, your essence hasn't changed. No matter what kind of skin you are wearing, in the manifestation of cause and effect, that state is one of thinking. 4. Practical application. Setting the pattern and drawing the form, directly entering with your whole being. So how exactly do we transform? The Master gave us 4 characters, setting the pattern and drawing the form, Himo Hua Yang. The Buddha and the patriarchs have already prepared the perfect mode for you. Can't you just draw a god by following a model? This is called imitating the Buddha's actions. How do we do it specifically? It's called directly entering with your whole being. See through the illusion. Everything you see, the mountains, rivers, the great earth, men and women, young and old, is all an illusion manifested from the essence. Hell is an illusion. and heaven is an illusion. The key is to see what kind of causes and conditions are manifesting. Deep alignment. Think how the Buddha thinks. Speak how the Buddha speaks. Act how the Buddha acts. The Master mentioned Elon Musk and devotee. This is actually to break our arrogance. We cannot even compare to the blessings and meditative concentration of those capable people in the human world. On what basis do we think we are practicing the Buddha Dharma? If you still do whatever I want, then you're just mooching within Buddhism, mooching for some food and a place to stay. True practice is to throw your whole life into the mode of the Buddha Dharma and clone the Buddha's merit. The secret, how to rapidly collect merit. Many people feel that practice is slow. The Master gave a fast track. Take that energy you use for collecting trash and use it to rejoice in the merit of others. Swixi Geng Day. This is the mystery of the chapter on the practices and vows of Samantabhadra. When you see the strength of others, even a tiny bit, you rejoice, praise, and make vows. In that moment, the other person's merit is copy-pasted onto you. But there is a key here, being without leaks, Guru. The Master told the story of Devadatta and Shakyamuni Buddha. As the teacher, Devadatta, because he enjoyed the offerings and developed an arrogant mind, his merit was like a funnel, leaking entirely to his devout and pure disciple, Shakyamuni. The Master warned us, the greater your greed, the larger your leak point. If you have afflictions, greed, anger, or ignorance, you are boiling an empty pot. Before you can succeed in your practice, you will have boiled yourself dry. Therefore, practice is not for show. It is about being without leaks. As long as you have no afflictions, your heart is whole. At that time, no matter how others paste your merit, the original here will not be diminished. Instead, through this flow, it will become infinite. Conclusion. Change your body and mind. Ascend step by step. At the end of this podcast, let's return to the topic of the mirror from the beginning. The Master said that we have ended up in our current state, and yet we often feel quite smug. But if you truly realized that you have just been pulled out of hell by Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, would you still dare to go on wriggling around there? Even if life is an illusionary dream, we must manifest a magnificent form. We must abandon the behavioral patterns of the maggot, stop collecting trash, and instead strive with all our might to collect the most supreme qualities of everyone, turning them into our real and solid merit. Remember that phrase from the Master, using this tattered body and mind. Every time you die, transform it into a body and mind that is a little more advanced. Ascending step by step is always much better than sinking step by step. I hope that next time you look in the mirror, what you see is no longer a public toilet filled with the trash of afflictions, but a practitioner who is working hard to align with the Buddha, with every stroke and mark clearly defined. Thank you for listening to today's sharing. May we all cultivate a measure of ready-made liberation within this great illusion.